it does.
Hello YouTubers, you are back here with Shavron, and I'm going to be showcasing my budget version of Pure Shaddolls. So, the Pure Shaddoll structure deck was a pretty insane structure deck. It came with a fair few staple cards, and having like Instant Fusion, Allure of Darkness, you had pretty much all of the needed Shaddoll cards in the structure deck as well, including the new ones. It was pretty insane, and I do suggest for new players coming to the game, if you're looking for a cheap deck to pick up on, do just buy 3 of these structure decks. It doesn't even matter which version. If you're going to use mine or anyone else's you find, it's really strong and you can compete with it at locals or probably even regionals on a budget and expect to do somewhat well. So yeah, with that, let's get straight to it. Starting with the main deck, I play 3 schematas. I rather have the schemata at 3 because it allows you to dump the Shaddoll you need in the grave that you don't already have in your hand or ready to combo off with. So that is my reason on why I play schemata at 3. I play 2 Hedgehog, just a great searcher, being able to add any Shaddoll monster from your deck to hand. 2 Beasts, great way to get draws off. You usually want to end with your turn, or at least on the start of your opponent's turn, with Beasts set face down, because these flip effect to be able to draw to and discard one is really good. Plus, when you discard a Shaddoll monster to it, because it's a part of it's not the cost to discard, it's part of the effect, you get the effects of other Shadolls off the beast, allowing you to extend further. I play the 1 Falco and 1 Dragon. Falco has been amazing to be able to help with the grind game, being able to special summon itself or special summon a Shaddoll fusion back onto the field. And then with Dragon, the reason why I play Dragon at 1, there's so many times I open this card as my only Shaddoll monster and you just can't do much when that happens. And having it at 1, at least if I'm going second when you really do need it, you have access to Shaddoll fusion, which allows you to use it straight from deck and to pop a back row. So yeah, that is for the Shaddoll. And including 2 copies of Shaddoll Wendy. Wendy's was an amazing play for this deck, including with the aerial, being able to set up pretty great boards. It does suck if you do open aerial. I have been trying to find out ways to push window at 3 and maybe area at 2, but then it comes down to the point where you can actually brick off them by opening too many copies of these. So that is why I've kept that 2 and 1 for now, and it has worked out the best for me. And so that's with the Shaddoll lineup for the monsters. So we'll get to the next lot. I do run the Perform Mage engine. I feel like the Perform Mage engine is a must no matter what variant you play, because it's just such a good extender in the deck, and it's the light targets to be able to get your Shaddoll construct going. So usually when you open this, you're laughing, because after you use them for fusion, you banish, add Trickster, and you can use Trickster for an extra fusion, and then it brings himself back out, being able to go into a Bistro or use them for link plays, which really does benefit the deck. If you don't have this engine yet, I do recommend you getting the Perform Mage engine, because this with Shaddolls makes Shaddolls really good, and I enjoy playing. I really do enjoy playing the Perform Mage with the Shaddolls. And then I have the normal summons of the deck. It's just 3 Mathematicians and 1 of the Armageddon Knight. If I could play 4 Mathematicians, I would, mainly because Mathematician is any level 4 monster and lower, which is big, because if you don't open the Perform Mage and you open Shaddolls, you just mill the Perform Mage and get the engine starting that way. If you open Perform Mage and none of the Shaddolls, you just mill the Shaddolls and get the engine going that way. The thing about Armageddon Knight, he only really works as a normal summon if you open the Perform Mage and you need to dump like a Shaddoll, or even if you open all of it and you can drop an extra extender. But Armageddon Knight can only mill a dark type monster, which makes Mathematician in Shaddolls a lot better in my opinion. Like I said, if I could run 4 copies of Mathematician, I would. So yeah, and getting to the spells, you run a big barrage of Polys here, 3 Shaddoll fusions, pretty much the best card of the deck when it comes to setting up your window play. Being able to use it on your opponent's turn, because once usually when you set up your turn, you've already used all your Shaddoll effects. So being able to Shaddoll fusion on your opponent's draw phase will allow you to use your Shaddoll effects again, being them being once per turn, as well as getting your window down on the field still. And 3 copies of Shaddoll fusion, really great card going second. If your opponent controls a extract monster, you can just poly using cards from your deck, which is really big. Again, you can get like Dragon out that way to be able to pop back row or bait some stuff if you need to. And 3 Super Polys. Super Poly will completely destroy combo deck boards at times. There are times when I'm playing against a combo deck and I see Super Poly, and it pretty much means game, because you can go into like a Bottle Sword and end game like that. Bottle Sword is in this deck. I'll explain to it when I get to it. 2 Lure of Darkness and 1 Foolish. I don't like opening Lure too much. So sometimes it helps, sometimes it can actually make you brick harder. If you, let's say, like, you draw your 2 cards, and then it does nothing for you, and you got to banish your only Shaddoll, and you're kind of screwed. But a lot of the times it does fix your hand. And for the power card of this deck, has literally won me so many games, which is Fusion Recycling Plant. So remember, this is a budget version, and Recycling Plant has been far by the most powered way to play this deck from budgets. I have played the Predator Plant version as well. Does not do anywhere near as much as what this has done for me, and I pretty much just prefer using Fusion Recycling Plant. It allows you to play for the grind game, and also search as a poly if you need the extra poly for the turn, or you don't open any of these 3. It does get you the polymerization, and then the terraforming as well to help get it. So you're essentially playing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 polys. So if you're struggling to find a poly after that, I don't know, I'm just going to blame it on my shuffling. And the last 2 cards I am playing, the 2 Shaddoll Incarnation. It is a crazy card. I play 2 because when you combo off with the Wendy on turn 1, you end up banishing 1 copy, and then yeah, you end up being able to use the second copy, if you, especially if your hand's good enough to be able to get this engrave, the second copy engrave, and still combo off. What this does is literally a monster born for Shaddolls. If they deal for your if you deal for your Wendy to be able to, like, so they can start special summoning again, you literally just reincarnate it, and then all Shaddoll effects have the same effect when they hit the grave. Shaddoll fusions, apart from the new one, when they hit the grave, they can add a Shaddoll spell trap back to your hand. You literally just add this back to your hand, and then when it comes back to your turn, you set it and do the whole thing over again. You literally can grind a whole game out just off this card and the Shaddoll monster if you need to grind to be able to find a win con that way. It will make the game boring for your opponent, but I'm sure if the full pile of the deck, you'll pretty much enjoy it. So for the extra deck, I am playing 3 Constructs. Construct's just an amazing card. You end up going to a second one a lot of the times on your first turn, if need to help unbrick. Third one's there if you, the game starts grinding. If you really need to go into it to start your search, and it has a really amazing ability to be able to destroy any special summon monster it goes into battle with at the start of damage threat. So you don't even lose your Construct, but you battle into anything and just start making them lose theirs. 2 Winder. I feel like having it at 2 is fine in pure. Just make sure you don't waste your resources and try to go into Winder too many times when not needed. 1 Wendigo. Wendigo is there for the super poly target, believe it or not. It is 1 Shaddoll monster and 1 Wind monster. So if I'm versing like Invoke Shaddolls, and they bring out a say an Appaloosa with a Winder board against me, I am just gonna like super poly using their Winder and their Appaloosa, and watch them cry because they're going to hit so hard by this. And then 1 Apalone, I think it's that. But yeah, one of these. When it's fusion summon, you get to negate 1 card on the field, and it stays negated even if it leaves the field, which is great. You can really interrupt big plays by using this, and then on top of that, if they have like a floodgate that's annoying you, you literally can turn it off just by this, and it just stays as a dead card on the field. 1 Shikaniga, sorry, it has helped me out a lot of times. Being able to just negate monster effects that have been special summoned. You don't go into it all the time, that's why I just played out 1, but it's there for the reinforcement if I do need it. Sorry, and the 3k defense, it makes the these 2 together a very pain in the ass, especially this and Shaddoll Construct as well, because Construct keeps popping things as he battles, and you lose it, reincarnate it, goes to the grave, add this back, and same deal with this one, but it has a bigger booty. But a lot of the times, like I said, you won't be going into this, you'll just use the Construct to be able to keep rotating and just blowing up your opponent's field. And I am playing the better versions of the Super Poly targets. I don't believe in using the other L-Shells because they require you to discard and use your own monster, where you can just discard and use 2 of your opponent's monster, or 3 of your opponent's spiral monsters. So yeah, again, mainly against spirals, you can maybe get into situations with other decks where they, maybe salads, when they go for the transcode, sometimes they have like a their Sunlight Wolf on the field as well, or Bailings, and they have like the transcode talk underneath with the update jammer, you hit them big and probably win if you hit them with that. Same goes with Spirals. They open big and you hit them, it's pretty much game over for them. And we have Earth Golem at it. Hits Salads mainly, but you can hit your Spiral matchup as well when they open Appaloosa and Trigate, because Trigate is a Cyberse as well. I feel like it's needed because sometimes your opponent doesn't open 3 Link monsters, and then Ignis just becomes so much bigger. And a lot of decks still open Double Dark, and I'm looking at you, Lunar Lights, but this is for you as well. So Starving Venom, you need 2 Dark type monsters to go onto him, and yeah, you just hit 2 of your opponent Darks. So that's all for the fusions. I play 1 Abyss Dweller because you can open Windar with Abyss Dweller, which locks out pretty much most of the meta right now, apart from back row decks. And 1 Cross Sheep. This is so Cross Sheep and Borrowsword are the 2 costly cards of the deck. Cross Sheep mainly because it helps extend your fusion cards. Whenever it plays with the fusions, when you fusion summon there's only points, so you special summon a monster from the grave for free, you pretty much want it. It's a free extender, and it's a link, opens up more link pointers to be able to fusion summon more. You don't have to play Borrowsword. You can play Borrowload if you want, or any other link monster you find equipped for like where you are or what you think you'll need. But Borrowsword really helps close games. It does do big OTKs when you need it. Pretty much if you open big, your opponent can't do much. You go on Borrowsword and you just win. If you can invest into a Cross Sheep and Borrowsword, definitely Cross Sheep first. Get Cross Sheep. It's a must for this deck. But afterwards, get Borrowsword. It can help close out games really quick. And Shaddoll Construct does come in handy a lot. Being able to link, say, when you're mid-combo and you still need to find extra extender, but you don't have a Shaddoll Fusion left to use because you only opened the 1, you couldn't add it back for some reason. Or you opened a Poly and didn't open any Shaddoll Fusion at all, but you decide to mill this to be able to combo off. What you can do, usually end up having 2 Shaddolls on the field that are flip monsters. You can go into that and be able to open play that way, because you can use itself to be able to use as a Poly, so it's self plus 1 other Shaddoll monster. And then you can end up sending your Shaddoll Construct to grave to be able to special summon this. And yeah, it's a great way to extend. And I'm pretty sure the send is not cost. Yeah. So if this card's in your grave and that's all you need, you can send. So you get the construct add back, or whatever fusion monster you send off it to add back any Shaddoll like spell trap. So this, or if you need the Poly back in hand. So yeah, it really helps out that way. So that's the main deck. I quickly want to go over some side deck options. I don't have a set side deck for this deck to show with, but a very big card is probably like 3 copies of Denko Sekka. Shaddoll is very low matchup against back row decks, but if you play triple Denko Sekka, you can really lock them out when you go second. So you go normal summon it straight away, and then use Shaddoll Fusion. If you opened it, just use monsters from your deck and you go off and most likely win off that. So very big play for Shaddolls. If you can get this sided out 3, it will help you lots, especially in a budget version. Twin Twister, again, back row hate. You can run it at 3, it will help. If you have access to evenly match, or like if you have an evenly match or end up wanting to get it, you can play 3 evenly matches as well, which does really big. You can side 1 Shoal Dragon if you want to try and get the extra back row pop. It is a viable option if needed. I have 2 Mind Control as well that you can end up playing because it's limited 17 out of 2. It's a very powerful go second card still, and can help set up your OTK if you do play Broadsword. Lance Use is always a good option if you're playing like in an Orcus heavy meta. It's not so much anymore now that Orcus have been slowed down, but if needed, it's still an option. You can play the 1 Prankatops if you need it as well. Yeah, but it keeps going. It really comes down to what your locals are like. If you're playing out locals a lot, maybe you can run like more floodgate traps, or if you're afraid of your opponent using, big one, sorry, if you have access to 3 judgments, that's a good side option in Shaddoll as well, because evenly matched really does out Shaddoll board. You end up keeping your window still, which gives you like a way to lock your opponent out. But if they have a way to deal with that, you're in a rough spot. If you have judgment to protect your board, you pretty much set that you're not going to die this round. You're going to win when it comes back to yours. So yeah, Judgment really good in this deck. Pretty much a lot of your common cards, like if you have Nibiru, Droll and Lockbird is a big card too to play because it shuts down out a lot of your meta decks right now. Droll and Lockbird should be summer in your deck if you have it. 3 out main, 3 outside. Don't sleep on it. Don't forget that card. So yeah, I'm gonna run through some probably just 2 test hands to show you what this deck can open like on a budget. I'm going to be going through and showing every combo Shaddolls can do and different end boards they can end on, mainly because it's such a unpredictable deck. So even the turn player doesn't 100% know for sure what they can end on, even if it's going to be a Bistro or a Wender, or if it's going to be just a Winder and a Cross Sheep out, or if you just open up just Winder, which is not too bad, because usually if you just open up Winder, you maybe have an El Shaddoll to be able to make more plays and bring out a second Winder on their turn, which will pretty much hurt every combo deck out there. But let's say we have this as our opening hand. We don't have the Perform Mage engine live, so what we want to do is normal summon Mathematician to mill the Damage Juggler to grave, and then when Damage Juggler is in grave, you can banish it to add Perform Mage from deck to hand, which will be the Trick Clown. Now you're going to El Shaddoll Fusion using Squamata and the Trick Clown to bring out your first copy of Construct. So here you'll have Chain Link 1 on the Construct, Chain Link 2 Squamata, Chain Link 3 on the Trick Clown, and that way Trick Clown is blocking the other 2 from negation effects, which is what you really want. So for Trick Clown will bring itself out, Squamata will get you a mill, so we'll mill the Shaddoll Incarnation, then we'll mill Wendy off the Construct, and when Construct hits the grave, you can special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck and face down defense, which will be her buddy Ariel. So your board will end up looking like this, and now you use the Mathematician and Construct to go onto your Cross Sheep. When the Construct hits the grave, you get to add a Shaddoll Spell Trap from grave back to hand, so you add the El Shaddoll Fusion. I'll move this back a bit so you can see the grave a bit better. Sweet. So from here, what you will do is banish the Shaddoll Incarnation with the Shaddoll Construct. So it banishes another Shaddoll card to flip a card face up or face down. So you'll flip the Ariel face up for the same matter. And when Ariel gets flipped face up, you can special summon a El Shaddoll from the banish zone back onto the field in face up, in defense or face down, which will be face up for this case. So Construct is not once per turn for both her effects, and she doesn't have to be fusion summoned to get the mill. So you have Chain Link 1 and Chain Link 2, Cross Sheep to protect the El Shaddoll Construct again. So Cross Sheep will special summon your Squamata in defense mode, and Construct will get you another mill. So here you'll mill the Hedgehog, getting the Hedgehog effect to mill to add a card from deck to hand. So here you want to add a El Shaddoll Beast. Oh no, Squamata, sorry. Shaddoll Squamata. Because that way, once it goes back to your turn, you can choose what you want to mill off the Squamata to really help fortify your play, which will be very big. So here you'll overlay the Trick Clown and Ariel to go onto your Abyss Dweller. So Abyss Dweller will lock most pretty much all meta combo decks out of the game. You have Salamander Great, lock them out, locks out Lunar Lights, and locks out Spirals really hard. So you pretty much just pass your turn on that. And then on your opponent's standby phase, draw phase, sorry, you'll detach the Ariel, just in case you can use Trick Clown on your turn, which will be good. And then you'll chain El Shaddoll Fusion. So El Shaddoll Fusion will go off using the Squamata and El Shaddoll Construct. And then you'll bring out Winder. And then Abyss Dweller will be negating all of your opponent's grave effects, but not yours. So you have Chain Link 1 on El Shaddoll, Chain Link 1 on Squamata and Chain Link 2 on Construct. So Construct will add your El Shaddoll Fusion back to hand, and then Squamata will mill another card. Here you want to mill your Shaddoll Wendy, and then when Wendy hits the grave, you have to special summon a card in face down defense again. So we'll go for Beast this time, because Beast allows you to draw 2 and discard a card, which will get you a very good engine going. So at the start of your opponent's turn, you still have 4 cards in hand. You have an Abyss Dweller, Winder, and then you still have you have Cross Sheep if it does survive, but most likely not. And then you have a face down Shaddoll Beast, which will reload your hand to a much stronger hand. Then you have a draw for your turn as well. So you have 5 cards coming into your turn, and if your opponent doesn't kill you, I don't know how they would in a combo deck, because yeah, Abyss Dweller says no. Maybe if they somehow deal with Winder and go to a double or nothing, go TK. There's not much you can do about that one, but for them to pull it off would be pretty hard as well, because Winder can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, which is really big. If you were versing a combo deck for this setup, oh no, not combo, a back row deck, usually you don't go this far into a combo, you play it a lot slower, and you can play a Tornado Dragon over the Abyss Dweller, which will hurt your opponent so much more when it comes to against your back row decks, and you pretty much just got to slow the game down and play it at their speed, and just keep chipping away at their life. And if you hit another their back row down enough, you can also go into a Brawl Soda and just finish with an OTK. So this is one of the opens. The other open I wanted to show you is what you can do if you had the recycling plant in hand. So there's a lot more cards you can do, which I have here actually. So yeah, the Fusion Recycling Plant is a very big card for the pure version. I personally like using it, so I'll quickly get that set up now. So for this one, a lot of your lead up play is going to be the same. What you want to do here is just activate the Fusion Recycling Plant so that the effect is live. So when you Fusion Summon, at the end of your turn, you get to add one of the materials from your grave back to your hand, which is really big in pure Shaddolls. It'll keep your grinding pretty much forever, and it'll go pretty crazy. So we'll normal summon Mathematician again to mill your Damage Juggler. So let me quickly get that out again. Damage Juggler banishing itself again to add Trick Clown to your hand. So here, so like I said, a lot of it's the same. Shaddoll Fusion to go into Construct, Chainlink 1, 2, 3. So Trick Clown will special summon itself, and then you'll get the mill off your Construct and Squamata. So Squamata will mill your Shaddoll Incarnation, and then Construct will mill your Wendy, special summoning Ariel from your deck in face down defense. So again, we'll use Mathematician and Construct to go into Cross Sheep. Your Construct will add Shaddoll Fusion back to your hand. So your Shaddoll Incarnation banishing itself and Construct to flip Ariel face up. Ariel once again special summon your Shaddoll Construct in face up defense, which will get your Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 here. Cross Sheep will special summon Squamata in defense mode, and then Shaddoll will get you another mill. So for here, you want to mill another copy of your Shaddoll Incarnation. So Incarnation is a very good card in Pure. This is why I run 2 in Pure, and you're about to see why yourself. So for this part of the combo is a little different. You want to keep Trick Clown there for big reasons, and use go into Abyss Dweller here, using without using Trick Clown, because what you want to do here is use your Recycling Pen to discard a card in hand. So the last card we have in hand here, to add a Poly from your deck to hand. So we get the Polymerization out. So you activate Polymerization using this copy of your Shaddoll Construct with the Trick Clown to bring out another construct. So you'll Chainlink 1, 2 here, and then this one will add the Shaddoll Incarnation back to your hand, and then this one will mill whatever end of the combo that you still want off your Shaddolls. So let's say we go mill the Hedgehog here, and then Hedgehog will add, we can go Wendy or we can go Squamata. We'll go Squamata for this one, because it's always good to have Squamata in hand. And then what you'll do here, which is very good, you can literally just end up setting the Shaddoll Fusion and the Shaddoll Incarnation, and at the end of the phase, your Fusion Recycling Plant will add you a card, which will be, so you can go Wendy here, which will be probably the best one to go for. So you go to your opponent's turn, their standby phase. Once again, you discard a card, so we'll go Ariel this time, and then you'll activate Shaddoll Fusion using, say, Wendy and Construct. No, not Construct, sorry. Not Wendy, sorry. You'll use Squamata and Construct. So what you'll do here is go into the your Wendy, and then you'll get the effect of Construct and Squamata again. So Construct will mill you. You can go, let me see, Hedgehog. So Hedgehog will be a good mill here, and then Hedgehog will add you your Faco to hand, and then with the Construct, you can go for the Wendy mill to special summon a beast from your deck and face down defense for that draw 2 discard 1. And the board's a bit different than what you saw before, but at the end of the turn, you get another add of Fusion Recycling Pen, and if they deal with the Winder, you can special summon it again off Shaddoll Incarnation, and Winder will get you add on the Shaddoll Fusion again. So your hand will be loaded by the end of the turn, and your board will be looking pretty solid still. So yeah, that is the 2 examples I wanted to play, one without the Fusion Recycling Pen, and then one with it, so you can see the damage this card can do. For a budget deck, this deck can literally hold out on its own against all of your meta combo decks out there. Going second, if you open just the Shaddoll Fusion, being able to fusion summon straight from your deck is insane. It will lead up for a lot of opening plays. You can interrupt your opponent's board by dumping the dragon to bait out some back row if they haven't used it yet. So it really pushes the pressure on your opponent. It can it's really strong going first. It can go second. It really comes down to what your opening hand is to see how many negates that the Shaddoll deck can play through. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And you guys will definitely be seeing me next time. See you guys. Does.